those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Let us use that power, let us all unite and we'll rise!
Now that Season 2 intro was either really epic or a bit disappointing. Let me know in the comments down below which one. Don't worry, my feelings won't be hurt if it was awful. I'm expecting it to be. So guys, welcome back to AFC Wimbledon Return to Glory, season number 2, where we now take on the challenge of Division 1. Wow, how old am I? Championship. Division 1 was its old name a long time ago. Today we are going to have the first game in our first season in the Championship. But before we do that, we do of course have a few things to cover. First of all, I don't think I properly covered what happened last season, as in who went up and who went down from the prospective divisions. So we're going to look at who went up and who went down in League 1 first. As you can see, we did end up top by 4 points. Milton Keynes followed us up to Championship, with Peterborough managing to win the playoffs and get that third promotion spot. The teams that got relegated: Coventry, Shrewsbury, Bristol Rovers and Oldham. As far as the Championship, Aston Villa actually got relegated 2 seasons in a row. They are followed into the League 1 with Preston and Bristol City, Fulham, Newcastle and Cardiff getting promoted to the Premiership. And then we are going to have to contend with the likes of Middlesbrough, Hull and Sunderland in the Championship this season, as they got relegated from the Premiership. Arsenal won the title by 2 points from Man United. So we have been trying to get ready for the Championship, and we have gone a bit ham in the transfer market. As you can see, a lot of those players are very, very cheap. A lot of them are free, including Larnell Cole and Francarte Darbo, who I believe are the most likely to get into the starting 11, along with Jack Leach from Airdrie. The other players I'm hoping will become good in time. I just can't help trying to develop youngsters, even though it probably isn't the right thing to do with AFC Wimbledon. David Soderlund comes from Dortmund. Now I'm allowed to scout abroad. He could do really well for us this season. And then we've got Artur Krajicek coming in for 160k from Yeovil. He's a much better keeper than I've got already. Carl Lever came from Airbus UK for 41.5k. He's another potential player. And then we've got Tafazorli and Bradley Fuster, who could also break into the first team. I think Tafazorli is already in my first team as a defender. Fuster is kind of on par with Dalla Valle, so we're going to see what happens there. As far as selling goes, you can see we released a lot of people on free transfer. We've loaned out a couple of players. Danny Bowman retired, and we sold James Shea to Stoke. But it doesn't all stop there. Through pre-season, I started to find that the 4-3-3 tactic I was using was leaking a lot of goals. I was playing tough competition, but it was leaking a lot of goals. So I tried out the 4-3-1-2 that you might recognise from my West Ham World save, and we also brought in a 4-4-2 variation, as you can see here on the right, with only one striker with an advanced playmaker on attack just behind, Dean Parrott taking up that role, and a wide playmaker on attack, and we kind of try and focus the attacks down the left hand side. It's kind of based off of the way Arsenal used to play back in the day. A few tweaks to that because I'm AFC Wimbledon, so it's not going to perform that well if I try to do the exact Arsenal tactic. But we'll see how this goes, trying to focus our attacks down the left, where I think our best player lies. And finally, before we get into the first match, we'll look at the pre-season form. As you can see, that's probably what you'd consider quite a few friendlies. We started off with teams that are in the Championship like Blackburn, Birmingham, Brentford. We then moved up to the likes of Watford, and Everton and Burnley, Hull, Liverpool, just to see how we'd compete against really tough opposition. And that Liverpool draw, I tweeted it at Loki Doki. I want him to know, next season I'm coming for Liverpool. I'm really not. Let's be fair. Liverpool didn't play the best side, so yeah, I probably got a bit lucky, to be fair. We are also going to try this season to go defensive when we go ahead. That might backfire, but we'll see. Anyway, let's go into our first game against Sheffield Wednesday. That will be all for this episode because I've caught you up on what the team has been doing. So let's get into that game. Okay, so we're playing our new 4-4-2 formation with Krysiak in goal, Demetriou and Pasley as the wing backs, with Beedling and Tafazorli as the two centre backs. Laurent Cole, Jack Leach. I should check that name, shouldn't I? Jake. No, that is a Jack. I've now finally got a Jack. That's going to mess me up. Jake Reeves, Jack Leitch, David Soderlund, Dean Parrott and Laura Della Valle up front. And we're playing a 4-3-3 variation, and we've got a back four with a defensive midfielder behind two midfielders. I don't really... Forestieri. I think that's how you say it. I apologise if that's not. He apparently is quite good, but that's the only... Kieran Westwood I'm aware of as well. So hopefully neither of those do well now at pointing them out. Hopefully I'm going to recognise more players now I'm in the Championship as well. Okay, the nerves are back. First episode of the first season I was nervous because I didn't know how I was going to do. Now it's all back again because I really have no clue how I'll do in the Championship at all. I expect there's going to be a lot more defeats this season. A lot more defeats. I mean, we're doing alright right now. We're drawing, and because of our alphabet, we are actually third. Let's call the games now. Oh, Dean Parrott, you won the ball in a great position and then hoofed it up the pitch. It looks like first chance is going to go their way. It's crossed in, back post. Oh, we're 1-0 down already. Sheffield Wednesday are already beating us 1-0. It's going to be a tough season, boys. It's going to be a tough season. I think what we've got to hope for is we can pick up victories at home, because I think we may get dominated away. I could always revert back to the old tactics, see if it was just pre-season, because sometimes pre-season is really hard to judge your team off of, because sometimes they overperform and then underperform in the season, or they underperform and then do really well. Oh wow, 2-0 down already. This is not working. On the plus side, when I'm offline I can watch more of the match and kind of try and figure out what the issues are. But from that, they've run down the wing and crossed it in, and the marking wasn't good. And a free kick, and another free kick. Oh wow, this isn't working at all. Well, I think when you go 3 goals down, you should really change something. You should do something about your life. So, let me think about this, boys. Okay, so we have changed because I want to leak less goals this season. So we've changed the way we're playing. As you can see in the top there, we're going to counter and highly structured. And I should have shown you the other instructions I put on. There's 8 instructions now, which may be too many. And to be honest, it may be too late as they score a 4th goal. And that was the goal I was kind of hoping we'd avoid. Because that goal I can see mistakes in. And that's after I've changed things. He's just left wide open. Why that man didn't come back? Well, this is going to be embarrassing unless we grab a goal here. Get in. Go on. Oh, come on. Give me something to work with here, boys. Right now I'm looking like a mug on YouTube. Okay, so half time and we've not been good enough so far. Well, I think that's evidently clear. Okay, let me just show you the instructions before I continue. Completely changed. We've gone off of control. We've gone to normal tempo. We've gone narrower. I think I want fairly narrow, but that's quite hard to pick. A deeper defensive line. We are retaining possession, playing the ball out of defence, be more disciplined and stick to position. Because we are trying to avoid just giving them easy gaps. We may very well change formation, or may revert to one of the formations my players are familiar with, because this is their least familiar formation, 4-4-2. We played the most of the season with a 4-3-3 last season. The 4-3-1-2 I trained them with, but I never really utilised it that often in League One. I really don't see us getting back into the game, so I'm just going to try and preserve the players that are on yellows, make sure they don't end up being unavailable to us. But I think we're going to have to go back to the drawing board and try and figure out how we can turn this team into at least a team that can survive. At least we've given Sheffield Wednesday a boost though. That's Kirkjoy's team, so he should be happy. Alright, we've got a cross in here by Sheffield Wednesday. We've hoofed it clear. We're coming out slowly, no rush. We're trying to not concede anymore. We're trying to leak less goals. Reeves heads it straight to him out wide. And they're getting past players too easily. Oh, it's just skipped past the man though, but Christak makes a good save. Crossed in again, headed out. Wow, Dean, you had time to turn. You had time to turn on the ball. Alright, so we've got another yellow card, and let's be fair. It's not like we can say we deserved it. They only had one clear-cut chance, but 4 half chances, 13 shots on target. They just dominated us. Completely dominated us. I feel like we need a more compact formation, which I have. My other formations are compact, but I think I need to change them to be more defensively solid. So next episode you're probably going to see a reversion back to the 4-3-3, which they're most familiar with, and I'll try and figure a way to make that more defensively solid. We'll just have to scratch that one up to a lesson learnt. Let's not go up a league and try and play really attractive football. Although it worked in pre-season, I hate pre-season. Pre-season gets your hopes up, and then they're just shattered when you start the season. And Milton Keynes got a draw as well. No, we're behind Milton Keynes. Damn it. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in as always. I apologise for the slight delay between seasons. Like I've said in previous videos on my other channel and this one, I am moving flat, so there might be slight delays between uploads, but once I'm moved it will go back to daily on this channel, because we need to get AFC Wimbledon back where they belong, in the Premiership. If you're new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up button if you're liking the fact that AFC Wimbledon Return to Glory is in season number 2 in the Championship. I've been JNO, you guys have been awesome, and I've got some work to do.